How's it going, everyone? In this video, I want to highlight all of the new Steam game releases this week. There's actually quite a few new games dropping this week. A couple ones I'm really looking forward to, some on Game Pass as well. So let's get right into it, and I want to start things off with the Ascent. This is one of those games that's going to be on Game Pass as well, but the Ascent is a solo and co-op action shooter RPG set in a cyberpunk world. The mega corporation that owns you and everyone, the Ascent group, has just collapsed. Can you survive without it? So this is a game that is going to be dropping at $30. It has a 10% off launch discount, but again, it's going to be at Game Pass, and I foresee a lot of people going that route to playing the game, but it has some RPG elements. Looks like it's pretty action heavy as well, and I think a lot of people will get behind the setting, not just because Cyberpunk is kind of in these days after Cyberpunk 2077 wasn't great, and people looking for quality Cyberpunk titles, but also it looks like the scenery and the set pieces are looking pretty good, and for top-down action, it looks like it's doing that pretty solid as well. Again, it does have a co-op emphasis as well, but you can play it solo. And the game is dropping on July 29th. Next up, we have Unbound Worlds Apart. This is actually a game that I've been following for a little while, and just off looking at it, it gives me some vibes of a game like Ori and the Blind Forest, and you know, I don't want to put that kind of expectations on the game saying it's going to be at the level of Ori, since that is a very, very, you know, high bar to reach, but the game itself looks very good if you are into adventure platformers. Summon portals to overcome vicious beasts, devious puzzles, and fiendish platforming challenges. Master the unique powers of each portal to stop the collapse of reality while exploring lush, hand-drawn worlds and unraveling a deep narrative full of mystery. So yes, while it is an adventure platformer, and sometimes platformers aren't known for having the most compelling narratives in the world, it does look like this one has a solid story focus, so that is something I'm looking forward to. 10 different portals with unique mechanics, a vibrant and detailed hand-drawn artwork, twitch platforming with new skills to unlock challenging puzzles, traps, monsters, and bosses, a rich narrative, world lore, and a cast of NPCs, and hidden secrets, quests, and collectibles. If you're into platformers, probably one you should keep on your radar, and it might be one you end up really enjoying. This one is coming July 28th. Next up, we have Tribes of Midgard. Tribes of Midgard is coming from Studio Norsefell and being published by Gearbox Publishing. Heads up, the giants are coming. Mythical creatures, deadly spirits, and gigantic brutes threaten to bring on Ragnarok, the end of the world, from your tribe of up to 10 and become Viking legends in this action survival RPG of gigantic proportions. This is one that has a pretty cool watercolor look going on for it and definitely stands out from a visual standpoint compared to other titles. Looks like you're going to be fighting some pretty large monsters as well, you know, within Norse mythology, so that might be something you get into. A lot of great top-down action by the looks of it as well in this one, and it notes throughout the year, limited-time seasonal events bring bigger challenges and even mightier treasures to the endgame of Midgard, including new ways to progress and unlockable rewards for use across every game. Game doesn't seem too difficult to run. Notes recommended a GTX 780 Ti and a 970 for high settings and a 1070 for ultra settings. So, you know, somewhat older GPUs, but even the minimum requirements, a GTX 560 or a Radeon HD 7770, so that is pretty tame, all things considered. Again, Tribes of Midgard drops July 27th. Next up, we have Samurai Warriors 5 coming from Tecmo Koei Games. There is a demo available right now, so you can try that out if you are interested. You know, it's always a little bit of a question mark when it comes to Tecmo Koei and PC releases, just because sometimes they aren't the greatest, but I'm really hoping for the best out of Samurai Warriors 5. A new Samurai Warriors begins after a 7-year wait. A new installment in the tactical action series Samurai Warriors is finally here. If you're into fast-paced action games, this is probably going to be something right up your alley. Again, you guys should be familiar with what the Warriors games entail. It's not for everyone, but if you're into a lot of action-oriented fun, again, with a heavy emphasis on the gameplay, these games are enjoyable. And again, if you want to try out how the game is, there is a demo available that'll take you through the early portions of the story campaign. Another game that isn't too difficult to run, recommended a GTX 1060 and minimum requirements a GTX 660 or an AMD Radeon R7 370, so should be tame in all accounts as far as that's concerned. Samurai Warriors 5 actually should be dropping later today. It should be out tonight, so yeah, if you want to get a start on that game tonight, you have that option. Next up, we have Blaster Master Zero. The pinnacle of mutant blasting action is here. Blaster Master Zero 3's hybrid of side-scrolling and top-down action is back for its third chapter and more intense than ever before. I believe this is the final chapter of this arc of Blaster Master Zero, so if you're into old-school action-adventure exploration titles, this is probably going to be something you enjoy. Obviously, it very much has a retro look going on for it, but that's kind of what Blaster Master is going for here. And if you haven't played Blaster Master 0, 1, or 2, go ahead and play those, and then you can jump on to 3. But fans of games from the Super Nintendo era probably will dig what Blaster Master has to offer. Next up, we have Eldest Souls, which is described as a dark fantasy Souls-like, fast-paced, and brutally challenging. Eldest Souls is a unique boss rush Souls-like experience. In a final act of vengeance, the old gods have unleashed a great desolation upon the world. Mankind's only hope lies within a lone warrior and his great sword of pure obsidian. This is a game a lot of people have been looking forward to, and another title that does have more of a retro look going on for it, but also pretty colorful in terms of its presentation, so I'm looking forward to it on that aspect as well. The game is obviously going to feature some challenging combat. Do not go into it expecting something that's going to be really easy. It notes boss rush brutality, an ancient kingdom, pixel perfection, bask in the pixel perfection, dripping in gorgeous 16-bit attention to detail, but don't gaze too long. The moment of human triumph has long been forgotten, and something dark has taken root deep within. Again, Eldest Souls is going to be dropping July 29th, and if you're into, top-down action games like with the art style of a Dead Cells, and if you're into Souls-like titles that are a little bit more challenging, Eldest Souls is probably going to be something you end up digging. Next up, here's another game that I've been following for a little bit, and that is Omno. Omno is a game that really gives me vibes of like a Journey or a Flower, one of those games by that studio. A single-player journey of discovery through an ancient world of wonders created by a solo developer as well, so that's always interesting. Although, one of my favorite downloadable titles in Axiom Verge was created by a solo developer, so I always have solid faith in those games. There is a free demo available for this one as well, so you can check that out. Omno whisks you away on a journey of discovery through an ancient world of wonders. It's a single-player adventure full of puzzles, secrets, and obstacles to overcome. The power of a lost civilization will carry you on an epic quest through lush forests, sun-blasted deserts, and frozen tundras, even to the clouds. You'll meet fantastical creatures and much more. This is going to be a game that's going to be super easy to run, so on that aspect, it's going to be something to check out. And if you like more relaxing games, probably going to be a game you enjoy. This one is out July 29th. And lastly, we have Intravenous, which is coming out July 26th. And if you're into top-down shooters like a Hotline Miami style of game, this is probably going to be something that you end up really digging as well. Teeth-clenching stealth followed by hardcore gunplay. For those not looking for a quiet way in, Intravenous will keep you at the edge of your seat regardless of how you play. Another game with more of a retro look going on for it. A game like this does kind of target that audience as well with the top-down action shooting mayhem that you've got going on. A gritty story, reactive AI, old-school stealth mechanics, teeth-grinding action, capable enemies, lots of weapons, multiple weapons, each with their unique handling. Each works best in a specific situation. You're sure to find your personal favorite here. Again, this one is dropping on July 26th, and that's going to wrap up this one. Again, as far as typical weeks in PC game releases and Steam game releases, this is one of the heavier weeks with a lot of quality titles by the looks of it. The Ascent is probably at the top of my list alongside of Samurai Warriors 5. So looking forward to that. Eldest Souls, I think, is going to be right up the alley of a lot of people. But let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. That's going to wrap it up for me. Thank you for watching. If you guys have a request for a future video, you can leave that in the comment section as well. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.